Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I made these UV resin keychains. I was in Hobby Lobby and a while back, and I found these little cup holder resin molds, so I thought I would get them. And actually, it was in the section that was marked down, so this little mold only cost me 37 cents. Originally $1.79, so that wasn't too bad either. So I'm just going to take my UV resin, and this is a resin that I got off of Amazon. And I'm just going to put a layer of resin in the bottom of my little molds here. And I'm making sure that I'm getting around the little nub that's sticking up. That's going to be the hole for the jump ring to go in to make it a keychain. Just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So there's that little nub I was telling you about. That makes the hole so you can put your jump ring through to make it a keychain. Now I'm only going to fill this up about halfway. I did have a few bubbles in there, so I am going to take my heat gun and try to get those out. And I do hold it up a ways away from the mold itself. And I do it on the lower setting. And that was in real time, so I didn't speed that up or anything. That's the amount of time I used my heat gun on that. Now I have some glitter that my mom had given me. Who knows how old this stuff is, but I thought it looked pretty cool. It's different than a lot of glitters I've seen, so I have no idea where she got it. And I don't want to put the glitter all over the whole mold. And then she gave me this real light thin glitter. So I'm going to put it up towards the top, on top of like where the other glitter is, but not all the way to the top. I hope that makes sense. You'll see it later. I don't take it all the way to the top of the mold, because I want it to look like, you know, you have one of these cups, and you know, you have your liquid in there and it's not all the way full. And then I'm just gonna just gonna take a toothpick, and I'm going to move the glitter around a little bit just to get it more towards the bottom and even it out somewhat. And then I'm going to turn my mold around because the other cups are opposite of the cup I just did. And I want to do it from the bottom up. And this glitter is some glitter I got from the Dollar Tree. It's blue, and it's kind of a little bit larger glitter. And then I have a finer glitter that I'm also going to sprinkle in there. comes in a 3-pack at the Dollar Tree. And again, I'm going to take my toothpick and I'm just going to even the glitter out a little bit, take it more towards the bottom of the cup there. And the third cup, I'm going to use a glitter that I've had for a while. It's blue and green mixed together. There, I'm trying to show you what it looks like. I like it, it's cool. And then I'm just going to take my toothpick and again move the glitter around a little bit. Now I'm going to use my Less Resin Light. I'm going to set it for 2 minutes. And I did get this off Amazon. It's a UV light for UV resin. And there, my layer of resin is hard. Now we got to put on the top layer. So I'm just going to fill my molds up the rest of the way with this resin and make sure I get around the little nubby thing there. So I'll have a nice hole. And I'm not going to go over the edges. I want to make sure all my resin stays in my mold there. So I'm just filling it up the rest of the way. You could leave it a little bit, which is kind of what I did. I didn't go all the way to the top. And as you're doing this, the where we're putting the resin in right now, that's actually the bottom of the cup or the back of the cup. The front of the cup is what is in the bottom. I don't know if that makes any sense, but hopefully you'll understand. But this resin that I had bought off of Amazon, I got it in 2024. It was a 4-pack of the 200 fluid ounces. So it was cheaper. And this is my first bottle. I haven't gone on to the next bottle yet. And again, I'm going to use my heat gun a little bit. It didn't seem to have too many bubbles or anything in it this time. And this is the real time for me using the heat gun. So I'm already done with it. And then I do 2 more minutes with my light. And there it is. And then I look to see what it's going to look like if I go to take it out. And it looked a little wet underneath. And I wasn't liking that. And I didn't want to take it out. I thought, well, I need to cure this for a little bit longer. So I do another 2 minutes with my UV light. And that's done. And then I'm like, you know, I think I'm going to flip this over and cure from the back side. So this back side there is actually going to be the front side of your keychain. So I do it for another 2 minutes on that side. And that seemed to do the trick. So I'm just going to pull these out. And then I'm looking at it. It had like a string of glitter coming off of it. I don't know how that happened. But also somehow the glitter sunk all the way to the bottom and through the resin on all 3 of these. I thought that was kind of weird. I never really had that happen before. So I don't know what was going on, but we can fix it. So I'm going to show you up close a little bit what they look like. I don't know if you can see, but right there, it's not quite right. And this one here is really bad off. The glitter just sunk down into the bottom, and there's no resin on top of some of it. And that one there is a little bit better than the white one, but not much. So what I'm going to do to correct this is I'm just going to put a layer of resin on the top of each of these. Now I don't want to do too much, and I don't want it to run over the sides. I only want it on the top, and I want the layer to be even all the way around. I was hoping this was going to work. Now I'm going to have to go around that hole there because you don't want to miss that. Okay, that one looks pretty good. Let's go to the white one. Now the white one had a lot of issue there, so again, I'm just putting a thin layer on top, making sure it's even all the way around. And then I do the area around the hole last. And I want to make sure that I don't get so much on it that it drips down the side, because that's not going to look good. So I think that one's pretty good, and let's go on to the third one. Sorry this is in and out of focus, but you know, the camera focuses on the resin bottle instead of the little pieces that I've already made. Okay, I think that one looks pretty good. So what I want to do is cure it again for 2 minutes. And that's the 2 minutes is over, so I'm just checking them out, and they look pretty good actually. They're dry. And we can go ahead then and work on turning these into keychains. So there it is. Look how nice that looks. So it didn't look so good before I added this top layer, but now it looks pretty good. Look at that. How smooth it is. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we're going to need some jump rings. We're going to need a split ring. So I'm going to use, well, I tell you what, I was going to use 2 8mm jump rings. And these are gold colored metal. So I have a chain, I have a big split ring, and then 2 8mm jump rings. So I'm just going to find where the ends of my jump rings meet, and then I'm going to open it up. I go to put it on the blue one, but yeah, the 8mm jump ring is way too small. So I pick up the 10mm jump ring, and actually I wanted to put the gold on the whitish cup. So it did fit It was a little tight, but it did work. Probably a little bigger jump ring on this one here would have worked a little bit better. It doesn't move quite freely as I would like it to. And I'm just going to add the end of my chain to the jump ring. And then I'm going to close it up. I'm turning it so I can get the ends out to where I can grasp it with my tool. And then I'm going to close it up. But you can see there how the jump ring doesn't really move. So yeah, I'm just showing you I had to use a 10mm jump ring. And I got mine from Fire Mountain Gems. But you can get them from Hobby Lobby. And then what I want to do is use 14 links of the chain. So I'm just going to count up from where I have it hooked to the jump ring. I'm going to count 14 and then I'm going to cut the 15th chain off. And then I'm going to put my 8mm jump ring through that chain. And then attach my split ring. I was just counting it again to make sure I had 14. So I'm going to put my split ring on there. And then I'm going to close back up my jump ring. And you never want to pull your jump rings apart. You want to twist them opposite of each other. So there's the first keychain with a little acrylic or resin drink attached to it. And now for the other two, I'm going to use silver findings. So I'm going to use one 10mm jump ring in silver. One 8mm jump ring in silver. And then the split ring, which I think is 20mm. But you can use whatever size you want. These are a little small, but I mean, you know, it's okay. You can still fit several keys on it. I'm just going to open my jump ring and put it on my chain there, but that's not really what I want to do. No. I need the bigger jump ring, and I'm going to put it through, open it up and put it through the hole in the little cup there. And then I'm going to put the chain on it. I'm going to close up the jump ring. I'm going to count the 14 links of chain. And then I'm going to cut the 15th link off. And then I'm going to add my 8mm jump ring to it, and then add the split ring to that, and then close it up. And there we have our second keychain, cup keychain. Oh, it does have some rough edges on it, so I'm just going to take one of those, excuse me, one of those nail files and file it down, sand it down a little bit, just on the rough edges. Then you just wipe that off. I think what it is where some of the glitter kind of creeps out of the sides of the molds or whatever, and kind of sticks up, and it leaves like a kind of a sharp feel to it. So just sand it down, make it smooth. I guess this one needed a little bit more sanding than the other two. But you don't want any sharp edges because you don't want anybody to get cut. And this one I'm also going to do with the silver metal pieces. So again, I'm going to need, sorry, I went out walking and I came back and now I feel like something's in my throat there. Gonna need the chain, the bigger split ring, and then the 10mm jump ring and the 8mm jump ring. So I'm just trying to find out where the two ends of the jump ring meets, and I leave that on the top, and then I use my tools, one way, one the other way, to open that up. And then I add my chain to it. And close up my jump ring. And then I'm going to count 14 chains, or links, whatever you want to call it. I guess the whole thing is a chain. But I want 14 links again. And this one, I didn't really cut off the 15th link. It was already a little bit open, and I tried to just open it up the rest of the way and get it off. And as you see me struggle here, that's not going to happen. So just go ahead and cut it off. I know you're going to lose a link, but you know, it's worth not having the trouble of trying to get it apart than just cutting it off. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this a little bit again. You know, I kept trying, and I'm like, no, forget it. I'm cutting it. So I just cut it off. Best thing to do, just cut it off. So I'm taking the 8mm jump ring. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to put it on the end. Well, if I can find where the two ends meet. Sometimes you can rub your fingernail over it and it'll be a little rough, and that's how you can figure it out. Most of the time you can see where they're put together, but sometimes you can't see that. And then I'm just going to put my split ring on there and close it up. And there's our third keychain. I think these turned out pretty cute. The white one, you don't really know it's one of those cups by itself. I mean, if you have it with these cups, you kind of know what it is. But if you just had that as a keychain, it doesn't really look like a cup at all. So I think if I did these again, I wouldn't use that part of the mold. I would just use the other two. But here's another view of them hanging. So the one on the left is blue and green, and then you have your white one and your blue one. Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe, please feel free to do so, and I'll see you in the next video.